David Muir is in the Flatbush section of Brooklyn tonight, home to 100,000 Haitians. David?
And George, as you know, more than 24 hours, well more than 24 now, since news of this massive earthquake broke. And the vast majority of the Haitian Americans living here still have not been able to make contact with their family. Their only connection, a small radio station here that somehow was able to pick up a signal from a radio station in Haiti.
With cell phones to their ears, desperate family members flew to Haiti. Nothing but busy signals or no signal at all. Late this afternoon, this woman finally got word. She was told her father-in-law is dead, and she is still waiting for word on the rest of her family.
My mother is in Haiti, just go to Haiti. Oh.
For so many of these relatives, the one lifeline to Port-au-Prince is this tiny radio station in Brooklyn, New York, where at the end of the hallway we found the lone radio operator inundated with calls.
This is Rico.
He's been broadcasting one of the few radio stations still operating in Haiti. And listeners are now calling him, asking, can he help find out about their loved ones back home?
Have you been able to contact anyone in Haiti?
I was in line with somebody in Haiti for about 2.5 minutes, and then we got cut off.
One caller asked about her blind mother back in Haiti, living alone. Someone there promised they would go check. In Haitian communities across this country, the same excruciating wait. Our Lisa Stark found this father in Miami, waiting for word on his wife and 3 young children.
In God's hand, that's it.
They're in God's hands?
Yes. There's nothing I can do.
And there is little this radio operator can do, too. Still waiting to hear back about that caller's blind mother.
This was hours ago, and we haven't heard back.
We haven't heard back.
The same story playing out in Haitian communities across this country, from Miami to New York, as you saw there, George. And I can tell you from spending the day here, you can really read the pain on the faces of the people who are trying to connect still with their cell phones in hand, and they've been unable to do so.
So much heartache out there. David Muir, thanks very much.
From the beginning, we have tried to keep up the pressure on deliveries of food and water in Haiti. And David Muir now says today some water arrived. David?
Diane, some being the operative word. In fact, as we traveled through Port-au-Prince, we were stunned to find that in the 10 cities, we witnessed water arriving for the first time since the earthquake.
We joined the hunt for water today on the back of this pickup truck driven by volunteers. The signs were everywhere. We need help. We need water.
Quite honestly, the biggest commodity is simply the water here. In the back of this pickup truck, this huge plastic tank, and the gentleman driving the truck tell me they're headed to fill this. When I asked them how many people will drink it, they said it's impossible to tell. There's so many people who need it.
On the sidewalk, we noticed people carrying empty jugs. Where were they finding water? Behind this gate, our answer: water for a price.
And this is $7, this jug right here?
This man told us he scrounged up the money and walked for blocks. His children need the water.
Oh, how do you know if the water is clean? You don't know. Where does this water come from?
This one from... Wow, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
It turns out the salesman buys it from trucks that drive it in from wells on the outskirts of town. He then uses his own purifier.
It's a water purifier. What about the people who don't have money to buy water? Where are they getting it from?
I don't know, but America is supposed to send water to give the people.
You're asking me.
I'm asking you.
Back in the truck, we look for those wells too, and we find them. Water from deep wells pouring from the pipes. But look at the waste. They put in chlorinated tablets, and 2.5 hours after our start, we arrive at a tent city.
Has anyone delivered water before now? There's been no water. You will use the water for what? You're hungry.
The International Red Cross has set up 4 of these, so-called bladders that clean the water and then deliver it through spigots. Finally, some relief. This 8-year-old boy and his own full bucket.
Is this heavy? The U.S. military has brought in 12 more of those so-called bladders. And take a look at this, Diane. Before the water had been delivered to the 10 cities, this is all we could find. Little plastic bags of water, smaller than the size of my hand. It's all they could afford. That's right, they had to pay for them, and so did we, $1, just to show you this tonight.
$1 for tonight. And the price is rising, as we know. And, of course, with you... And this morning, when we heard yet another complaint from another doctor there that he could not get the supplies he needed, we sent David Muir in search of the plane.
Today we went to find the only makeshift hospital in Carrefour, the walking wounded, a sign we were close.
Were you waiting for help since the earthquake?
This woman had part of her foot amputated with scissors.
Hospital? This way.
We find the tent. Inside, the sounds of pain and the lead surgeon, who told us they're running out of supplies.
We don't have instruments, we don't have plaster of Paris.
They allowed me into surgery with a small camera. As doctors performed an emergency cesarean, the mother's placenta had ruptured. She was hemorrhaging, and they have no blood here. They just got the baby out.
Where is the baby?
It's just there.
Yes, petit.
Is it a baby boy or a girl?
C'est boy and garçon?
What a world to arrive in.
What a world to arrive in.
The mother survived too. They show me the little boy whose leg had to be amputated after gangrene set in.
Really, this little boy should have had surgery 12 to 24 hours before.
The lack of supplies delaying even the most urgent cases. Early today, Doctors Without Borders said 5 out of their 13 planes have been diverted. We went to the airport to ask why. Found the Air Force combat controllers now landing planes here 1 every 6 minutes.
Doctors Without Borders said they sent 13 airplanes and only 5 have been able to land.
Right. One, that's not true, and we have the numbers to refute that.
So how many have landed?
I don't have that for you.
Chief Foster did acknowledge the aid group's planes have been diverted, as have other planes. This tiny airport gets backed up. He took us to the Haitian in charge of air traffic control here.
Is there anyone saying that this kind of plane with this kind of supply should come in first? Is there any preference right now?
I mean, it's on the first come, first served basis.
Frustrated with our questions, he took us upstairs to show us the flight list with the planes that have come in with medicine.
Vision, doctors, nurses, surgical supplies. You know, it's all coming. It's all coming.
And Diane, just as we've come on the air tonight, we've learned a 6th Doctors Without Borders plane has arrived here in Port-au-Prince, landing a short time ago, carrying supplies, medicines, and one of those portable hospitals. I made a call just moments ago asking, will any of those supplies reach that hospital in Carrefour where we spent the day? They told me they are unloading them at this hour. They'll be there by the morning. Diane.
At last, and thank you, David.